Hi, I'm Becky with Fluency, and in today I'm going to share with you Amazon product listing copy that actually works. Let me start off by really sharing why it matters with listing copy. So many times it's easy to, when you go to an Amazon product listing and you're seeing all of the written content within that product listing, you're thinking, well, what does it really matter? As long as I'm describing my product. Maybe you've even taken what's on your Shopify or your own website and just kind of pasted it on over there, put in the information that people need to know. Well, that's not going to really allow your listing to really work for you and be effective like it should be. So that is a good starting point if you have information, like I said, that's from your website. There are a few concerns I would have about that, but that's good. But it's really going to be what is going to connect people that are searching on Amazon to your product. So I've talked in other videos about the importance of knowing keyword research. For instance, you can check out our video with when I talked about Amazon PPC strategies that actually work. That video should be very helpful. And one of the first points I make in that talks about keyword research. So within your listing, you need to make sure that you're doing things that are helpful. And I'm going to kind of share with you some strategies specifically on how you can take action on your existing listing, or even more important, if you have a new product that you're looking to launch on Amazon, what to do and include in there. So let me share with you, some of these strategies, 5 strategies that really work well for Amazon product listing copy. So when you are looking to create new content for Amazon, one of the first things you want to do is you want to start with a compelling headline. Now, in terms of Amazon, what does that mean? That means your product title is something that should be compelling, it should be informative. You have to remember that this is the first thing that buyers are going to see. Sometimes before they even click into your product listing, they're going to be reading that. And especially as you're thinking, as more shoppers are moving to shopping on their phones, shopping on mobile devices, that you want most of the important information to be at the very beginning of that title. So make sure that your headline is attention grabbing, make sure it's informative. What do people need to know about this product right away that will help them maybe not click on it if it's not going to be relevant to them? And also, like I said, what the product is, maybe highlight some main benefit, main feature within that. You may not be able to fit that all within that short character limit that's allowed on mobile, but your whole title, when you go into a listing, should include all of that information. And these are things that are really going to help you make sure that your product listing copy is working for you. The second strategy that you want to use for your Amazon product listing copy is to use high quality images. This is super important on both, not only when people go to the listing, but even for on your advertising side. That first image, if it's a sponsored product ad or if it's just your listing appearing without paid ads, so it's appearing organically on Amazon, what is that first image that people are seeing? You want to make sure that it's a very good, high quality primary image, but then also your other images should be really high quality. You want to make sure you're showing the products at different angles. Remember that they're shopping online, they're not in a physical store, so they can't grab the product, put it in their hands, and turn it around. So think about it. If you were the consumer, what information on your product do consumers need to see so that they can imagine that they're holding it and actually get that same information? So for instance, if you're thinking about a product that, for instance, many of our clients have consumable type products. So it's put in the body, on the body. Most people care about what that is that they're putting in or on their body. So you want to make sure one of the first few images includes what is it that is in this product. So the ingredient label or whatever it is that shows someone what is in this product. They can quickly decide if this product is going to work for them or maybe it won't work for them. So you want to make sure you have that. You also want to give them an idea to really just kind of help them understand it so that they can actually convert better. We see that when we add more product images to Amazon listings, they do convert better because people have an idea of making an informed decision. And you can also reduce your return rate with this as well, because if people know what they're buying and they understand the product properly, then you can make sure that there's not going to be a high chances of returning the product. or wanting to get a refund. So that's a really important thing when you're creating your listing copy. So the third strategy that I want to share with you is to make sure you're writing clear and concise product descriptions. Now, at the time of filming this, Amazon's parameters could always change for the character count, so I'm not going to mention it specifically. And it does depend on the specific subcategory that your product is in as well. But you want to make sure that you're getting to the point, that it is very informative, that it is concise. You're highlighting things that are really important for people to know. You remember, it's as if they were in a store, maybe a physical store. If they were to ask someone that works at the store, why do I need this product over this other product? You want to think through what are things that really make your product stand out over your competitors, over other products. What are distinguishing things? All these things should be very to the point and concise, but in your bullets primarily is where you want that. Those 5 bullet points up at the top if you're on desktop, and they also appear very quickly on mobile as well. You want those to be informative. Even the copy within your things like A+ content or the product description, if you're using that instead, you want to make sure it really tells a lot about the product so the consumer has as much information as possible before making that informed buying decision. And then really the bullets are great because also it's really easy to understand and people can kind of scan it quickly. So you want to make sure that if you were to scan something quickly, that you get the key points, that what you want to mention to someone are listed in those bullet points specifically. The fourth strategy, you want to make sure to include social proofing. So for your fourth strategy, include social proofing. Amazon makes this very, very easy. Social proofing is built into the listings and their ecosystem. And this is really a powerful motivator for people to go from browsing to buying. And this is going to be really helpful for reviews, your customer product reviews to be shown, and also looking at your overall rating for your listing. So when all of the reviews come through, what is the average? That's kind of your overall star rating at the very top of the listing. That's really important. And then when people are thinking about buying the product, but they might be on the fence, that's a lot of times when they go to those reviews and they'll look at like the most helpful. Sometimes they'll sort it by most recent. Those are the 2 categories typically. And I can include later on a video that kind of goes more into details about product reviews because that can be its own in-depth topic. But you'll want to make sure that you're monitoring those, that you're requesting those, that you really are, it's a way to build trust and credibility before buyers, because if they don't see anything on there, it's a little hard for them to buy. Now, I do have recommendations if it's a brand new listing, because obviously you're starting from scratch. But for existing listings, you'll really want to make sure that you have a strong review and that you're addressing any ongoing concerns with the product itself, if that's the case. So the fifth strategy I have for you is to use persuasive language. So earlier I mentioned you want to use content that is very concise, it's informative, it's to the point, but there is a little bit of an art to writing copy on your Amazon listings. You want to make sure it's also persuasive. You have to see that you're going to really want to emphasize for the buyer the benefits, how it can solve what's really their problem. Why are they eventually going to add it to their cart and buy? What need of theirs is it going to fulfill? These are the types of things and questions that you need to be answering when you write your copy for your Amazon listings. So while it should have really good keywords in there and it should make sense and it should be informative and it should be concise, you also have to remember it is what serves as your salesperson 24/7, 365 days of the year. This is what is working for you on Amazon to be your salesperson. So what is your Amazon listing copy currently telling your customers or your potential customers? You have to think about how they're thinking. You have to know who you're targeting, and you really want to make sure you're persuading and writing to them so that it helps them, for who it is a fit for, to see that this is going to help fulfill their need. This is going to solve their problem. I want to share with you some bonus tips too. Okay, so here's some additional tips of really as you're thinking about your Amazon listing copies and things that really work on Amazon. You'll want to make sure you're optimizing your keywords. Remember, relevant product keyword searches should be put in the listing. You want to also make it easy for people to find. If there's a certain way of saying your product that only you call it and it's not really getting any search volume, then you may need to include additional words that describe the product that consumers are searching for and they already know about and understand. So you may say something about, let's say you have a shampoo. You may say that you may not call it a shampoo, you may call it a cleanser or something slightly different than the word shampoo. But if that word shampoo is really what does drive a lot of search volume on Amazon, and I know that keyword does, then you'll want to make sure to also include words like that so that at a quick glance, people can understand that this is not just something to put in their hair, but this is actually what's going to serve as their shampoo. So that way people aren't confused, because if they're confused, they're either not going to even click into your listing or they won't end up buying at all. And then the last tip and strategy I have for you is to highlight those your unique selling position, your differentiation, whatever you want to call it. What does make your product different? Because the competition every year, every month even, it seems to continue to grow and increase on Amazon. You want to make sure that people, when they're looking at your listing, they can see what sets your product apart from all of your other competitors. There might be, for instance, an ingredient that you really want to highlight, but don't just highlight that ingredient. You also need to educate people on why that specific ingredient is helpful for this product. Why was it added in to your ingredients, as an example, to begin with? That's the kind of thing that you want to really draw out. Not just this ingredient is extra, but this is why this ingredient is helpful for this issue, or this is why we have it in our formula. And this is what makes us different. No one else has it this way. No one else offers it this way. Something that is really different that will help you to stand out. Make sure to also highlight that in not only the product listings, so the bullets, the A+ content, and the images. There are 3 different places you can highlight it to make sure people understand what is it that makes your product different. And you want to make sure you're capturing them pretty quickly as well, especially when they're on their phones, for instance. They're going to just be scrolling through a lot of images. They're going to be kind of scrolling quickly through the bullets and the A+. You want to really connect with them and help them to understand this particular thing that makes this product different is why they should buy this one right now instead of another product that they could get from a competitor. So I hope that this is helpful. This is really beneficial because essentially you're having your product listing copy work for you on Amazon and not against you. Like I said, you don't want to always just copy over what's on your Shopify website or on your own website, because that could hurt you with Amazon if people are not searching for those words. And you want to make sure it's relevant for people that are searching on Amazon, relevant to your product, that your product stands out. And really, it's a great component, especially when you're already running advertising, or even if you're not, or you maybe have not as much of a budget towards Amazon advertising currently. You should definitely make sure you're spending the time and the effort to make sure your product listings are actually working in your favor and for you. So I hope that this is helpful and that you're able to take some of those strategies and actually use that in one of your existing product listings. You can also use this as you think about as you're structuring a new product listing, because the best way when you're launching any kind of new products to Amazon would be to have everything fully written out, that it has all of these kind of elements I pointed out and strategies that I mentioned today. If you have all of those things included in the copy, you're going to be so much further ahead than any competitors would, especially because it's a new listing. You want it to perform very well early on. I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below or wherever you're watching this video. Or if you want to hear more in depth about something that I've talked about briefly that I didn't get to go into detail today, feel free to let me know that as well. And I hope that that's helpful. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to check out our website at clickfluency.com for more information, and follow us on all of our social media channels so that you can make sure you're getting the latest news in e-commerce.